So let's talk about this. I'm trying to play catch up on this. This is the CEO of Saber Interactive. Is it Matthew Karch? He appears to be speaking out against games that impose morals in the wake of Space Marine 2's success. Again, this goes along with what I was saying. You don't have to do anything particularly well. It's kind of like, Gordon Ramsay. I mean, I talked about this before. Like Gordon Ramsay on his cooking shows, he's just like, you can do a lot with butter, salt, and pepper, right? You just got to cook the steak well. And that's kind of the secret, right? Here, we'll get into this. Thank you very much. They have to do that, as is Dead Chicken again. LucasArts is the biggest example. I've never seen such apathy for Indiana Jones or Star Wars. Yeah. Ubisoft is going to lose a lot of money. Nobody cares about Star Wars. And it doesn't help that the game was broken when they shipped it. Yeah, it's just nobody cares. Nobody cares. Thank you very much. Yeah. So yeah, I'm playing catch up on this, but apparently, if I understand this correctly, the CEO of the company behind Space Marine 2 left a comment on one of Asmongold's videos. Is that what's going on? And now gaming journos are trying to destroy him, basically. And it's like, what the frick? We've got multiple hit pieces being written, of course. Kotaku, of course, is involved, of course. And we had, IGN's got articles on it, but this is a PC Games says Legend Space Marine 2 CEO comment, blast games that impose morals. Oh no. Saber Interactive CEO Matthew Karch appears to speak out against games that impose morals in the wake of Space Marine 2's success. Oh my God, how dare he? How dare he say it's not a game developer or a game studio's job to preach at people? Saber Interactive CEO Matthew Karch appears to claim that Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is a throwback game that avoids overblown attempts at messaging or imposing morals on gamers, as it should be. They can go to church if they want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, somebody commented that we're right back into the 80s, 90s satanic panic. Now it's the Nazi panic, or was it 1945, 1944, 1942? I don't know. One of those, Steven Spielberg did the World War II movie, and it was 41. I don't know. I feel like it's like a Capcom game number there, but yeah, they're talking about, just everything. There's like Nazis everywhere. So you gotta make sure that everybody knows you're not a Nazi. Karch's supposed comments are in response to Asmongold's video on the shooter, which reacts to the notion that Space Marine 2 is a reminder of what we lost in video games. Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of that this year, and those games are doing very well. Those movies are doing very well. Geeky and I talked about this in a couple of videos that, like, the biggest hits this year, Alien Romulus did pretty well, and Beetlejuice did pretty well, and Planet of the Apes, I guess, did okay. I haven't seen that one, but it did okay. Of course, Deadpool and Wolverine, Inside Out 2, which could have gone a completely different way if Disney didn't put the clamp down on Pixar and tell them to cut this stuff out of the game. The rest of YouTube is catching up to Clownfish. This is weird. Are they? Are they catching up to us? I don't know what's going on. Is everybody talking about stuff we talked about days ago? If it's in regards to animation, they don't really pay attention to animation. They think it's kids stuff. That's why. Anyway, he said, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is finally here. I have not played it yet, but I heard it was good. Saber's take on the franchise is depressing. Grimdark universe has enticed players old and new. Following a seriously impressive launch, 225,000 concurrent players, developers behind the shooter are reacting to the overall response, including a YouTube account that appears to belong to the CEO of Saber. And they're not, apparently they're not reacting to it, or at least as of this stream, they're not clarifying whether or not it was actually him. Hey man, CEO of Saber here. I love your videos. When we signed the deal to make Space Marine 2, all I wanted was a throwback game. We had the chance to work on something which by its nature was old school. I can't even comprehend many of the current games that we play these days. They're too complex and too much of an investment. Worked on Halo back in the day, And that game could be distilled down to the simplest of shooting loops, but it was entirely addicting. That's what we wanted to recapture. That's all people are asking for. It's not hard. It really isn't hard to get this right. They're actively choosing. That's what we talked about yesterday. They're actively choosing to run in the opposite direction. The money's over here, and you guys are like going over here. I don't understand it. I don't understand. It's not hard. Like, it used to be common sense in business that you figure out what the customer wants, you give it to them, you do it better than your competitors, and you do it with a smile on your face. And that is not how it works anymore. Now you tell the customer they have to eat your shit, and they're not allowed to leave you a bad review on Yelp, or they're a Nazi. I mean, where the hell did this mindset come from? Where the hell did it come from? He says, I hope that games like Space Marine 2 and Wukong are the start of a reversion to a time when games were simply about fun and immersion. Spent some time as the chief operating officer at Embracer. Oh no. I saw games that were made that made me want to cry, but they were overblown attempts at messaging or imposing morals on gamers. We just want to do some glory kills and get the heart rate up a little. For me, that's what games should be all about. That's all people are asking for. You'd make a lot of money. All these companies would make a lot of money. You're leaving it on the table. Space Marine 2 creative director Oliver Hollis-Leek has responded to the video. Hearing everything you have to say about the story and characters resonates so strongly with our actual approach. It's great to hear you calling out the exact things that we intentionally focus on. It was 4.5 years of intense work and passion, and watching videos like this makes it all worth it. After reaching out to Saber to verify the account's legitimacy, the developer has responded. Okay, noting that they're not providing comment. Yeah. But, of course, they're not happy with it. Grums has American Truck Songs 9, which is senior reporter Kotaku. Yeah, Saber tells me it won't comment on whether a YouTube comment on Asmongold's channel complaining about games imposing morals on gamers belongs to its CEO or not. They didn't respond to PC Gamer either, whatever that is. That what this was? PC Gamer? PC Games N. Yeah, they didn't respond to them either. They didn't respond to anybody. They don't owe you a response, Kotaku. They really don't. Like, you can reach out to somebody for comment, but if they choose not to comment, they don't even need to tell you that they're not commenting. They just don't comment. And frankly, Kotaku is not worth it, because nothing that they say to Kotaku is going to be used in good faith. Look at what happened to that one developer of that farm game. Did an interview with Alyssa Mercante because he was making jokes about the boobs jiggling in the game, and she turned it into a hit piece on him. Who the hell would give a comment to Kotaku about anything? Who would trust them with anything at this point? I mean, they're a lawsuit waiting to happen.